So on clearerthinking.org, it talks about how narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder have certain overlapping traits and differences. So we'll go through first narcissistic personality disorder. This is someone who has the desire to be center of attention, intense, broad need for admiration, constantly comparing self and other, constantly tries to feel superior, feels bad when fails. Superiority collapses into sudden self-loathing and a lack of empathy when self-interest is at stake. Elevates others to self-elevate. Grandiosity, inflated self-importance. Exaggerates accomplishments and brags. Sees their traits as more positive than they are. Doesn't carefully track the truth of their claims. Blames mistakes, failures, and flaws on others. Envy or beliefs about being envied. I was blowing my nose, I'll say it again. Envy or beliefs about being envied. Preoccupation with grand fantasies. A strong desire to feel special. Sensitive to criticism. Fragile self-esteem. With me or against me thinking. Needs validation for self-worth and aggrandizes the people around them. The antisocial personality disorder is transactional in interpersonal relationships. Little or no fear. Thrill-seeking impulsivity and violates social norms. Dysregulates their own safety or that of others. Disregards own safety or that of others. Indifference to the suffering of others. Lack of guilt and shame. Imitates others to hide a lack of typical emotions. Increased risk of criminal behavior. Lacks an intuitive sense of what's more immoral. Risk-taking and irresponsible behavior. And manipulates or deceives for amusement. Difficulty understanding some emotions. The overlapping traits are self-centered, manipulative, reduced empathy, enjoys power over others, sense of superiority, warps the truth for personal gain, does not respect others' boundaries, unstable relationship, lacks strong independent identity, and prone to sudden anger, prone to promiscuity, history of trauma when alone, and feels empty when alone. The next thing I want to share is When a Man Doesn't Love You, from Love Life Motivation 07 on Instagram. He blows up like a little bit of attitude is a crime. He can lose his shit, but you cannot he can lose his cool, but you can't express a feeling. His family, friends, coworkers are all super important. You're always at the last of the list. Every fight turns into your fault because in his twisted little world, he's the good guy. He thinks he's never the problem. He doesn't want to understand you. He just wants you to be easier to handle, but that's not love, that's control. You told him repeatedly what you need and he still forgets. He doesn't give an SHIT. He's never wrong. You're always too emotional, sensitive, crazy, which is the classic gaslighting. When things get messy, he shuts down and goes, if you're not happy, that's on you. No, it's on both, right? You try to talk, he goes silent, he calls it peace, but really it's emotional neglect. You both build a life together, but he acts like it's all his doing, his credit. And he knows ignoring you breaks your heart, he still does it. That's manipulation dressed up like he's a good guy. And all of this is not love. It's not confusion or emotional. All of this is not confusion or emotional unavailability. It's just not love. Someone who knows they don't love you is really what it's about. I want to share, there's a... importance to seeing the strengths in ourselves. So I'm a treasure chest of wisdom to communicate effectively, I'm able to communicate effectively and accurately under pressure. I have clairvoyance and intuition. I'm very fair and just, truly actually growth oriented, past the comfort zone and humble to see potential. I find balance in accomplishments and failings. At least I'm trying, I'm able to relate to everyone. I have excellent power of creativity and association. I have capacity and tolerance to feel raw feelings. I have capability to be alone and faith and trust in the outcome. I have mindfulness of death, daily commitment, adherence, and responsibility, reliability, dependability. I am mindful of death and impermanence. Forgiveness and digging deep to care and share and help. And authentic and sincere, not needing approval. In my therapy with my therapist, I was thinking about a few things, like how many times I've been rejected, but my needs matter. And This idea that the romantic fantasy really does actually have to be supported and founded by reality and choices. And it doesn't need to be tit for tat. If it's important to me, there's nothing wrong with wanting, not doing for the. You don't do for someone just because you'd like it. You do it for them. It's meaningful and mattering to get special treatment for a birthday. It's not materialistic. Like, I was upset that someone didn't do something for me. Also, I was thinking about being more mindful with speech, like calming down before destructive. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Does it improve on the silence? And in terms of relationship, for me, the best thing would be both having to be givers, because relationship reciprocal. Then I want to share. Oh, and also, like, after exercising, I felt like I'm like a body high. Like, I'm grounded, I'm safe, I'm strong, I'm soft, I'm loved, I'm powerful. And I was thinking about why I kept blocking somebody. It was because, like, it made me feel safe, even when he wasn't lashing out at the person I was blocking, because there was like a risk of being ignored, avoided, manipulated, double standards, rejected, abandonment, lack of empathy, unpredictability. All of this was what I thought could happen. The love therapist on Instagram says that healthy sexuality includes mutuality, consent, attunement, empathy, responsibility, and accountability. When any of these are missing, sexuality becomes extractive and predatory. And Ariana, I really like this stuff. Galardieste, I'll spell it. ArianaGalardieste. She says, what's it like to be loved by a healthy, emotionally available, mature man? And this is just her opinion. And, it doesn't mean that everyone has to agree with this, but I just found it to be like really an invitation to think about it enough that I could relate to the points that she's making, even if, let's say, I wouldn't say it in those exact words. And you could definitely put it into your own words. So, 1, he doesn't play games like the hot and cold behavior, inconsistency, playing hard to get, making you wonder, but pursues in a healthy, gracious way that feels good, leaves you with absolute clarity. In the relationship, he's open, transparent, and integrous. No pulling away, avoidant behavior. Words match behavior and actions, and he's always clear about his intentions. He prioritizes your well-being. He's attuned to feelings, and when they're off, he inquires. He's aware of his behavior and its effects. You don't have to convince or manipulate him to care. Only someone who's an ego, like still a boy, would do anything to harm your well-being. He protects and provides, happily, joyfully, willingly, unconditionally. He's not threatened by my success or desire to contribute. He won't need me to pick up the tab or try to go Dutch. He wants to provide and does whatever he can to keep me safe, whatever it looks like in the context of my life. And being a provider is about an energy. It's not about money. He might not be at the money goal yet, but, he understands responsibility. He's vulnerable, which is necessary for true intimacy, about his fears, insecurities, and he can admit when he's wrong and apologize easily when it's needed. He's able and willing to have difficult conversations with me in order to grow deeper in the connection with love. So let's go through this. He doesn't play games with me. He prioritizes my well-being and he's attuned to my feelings, aware of his behavior. He protects and provides, and he's vulnerable. So if he's committed to to grow, so basically when he's willing to have these deep, difficult conversations with me to grow deeper in the connection and love, and committed to his growth, his own growth and expansion, therefore he can openly have these conversations. Number 5, in order for this to be, I believe the others come first. So he's able to be silly and playful with me. He's not unnecessarily heavy and serious. He's solid enough in himself to let loose and be goofy. Laughing together feeds the soul and keeps the devil away, she says. He listens to me. He's present. Presence is needed for connection and intimacy. Even if there's times he has work or something else on his mind, for the most part, I can have his full attention, not something to beg and ask for. He'll give it because he's genuinely interested in my well-being and what I have to say. He doesn't make you compete. He doesn't make me compete with the phone for attention. He sees me and my body with only eyes of love, not criticizing, not judging. He loves me as I am. He doesn't see the flaws and shortcomings that I see about myself. He never makes me feel less than, or makes comments about my weight, or unkind comments about my body. He only looks and thinks good, loving things, seeing the perfection in me. And He loves my company, not just liking it. Being with me is better than not being with me. He misses me when I'm gone, not in a needy way, but in a genuine, wholesome, loving way. Like, I love this human, I just can't wait to be around them again. He's respectful. He won't leer at other women, behave inappropriately, or speak ill of me, or criticize me to others, or discuss my relationship with others, or watch porn. He'll give no reason for me to feel unsafe or uncared for in the relationship. And I know that with every inch of me that has in integrity, even when he's not physically with me. No rudeness, name calling, yucky stuff. And I feel safe with him, right? All of this is leading up to this. Emotionally, sexually, physically, psychologically, spiritually, safe to be 100% authentically me. Feel safe to show every inch of my body to him in bright lighting. Feel it, like, in other words, I mean, she's saying this, I would say, whatever that means for you. Feeling and knowing that my heart is safe with him and he's not going to be reckless, disrespectful, or unkind. And he's a good communicator. He'll speak about, he'll speak about it if something feels off. If he has difficult feelings, anger, frustration, he'll share it, not be explosive, dismissive, avoidant, because good communication is the bedrock of a healthy, functional relationship. It takes both people being clear, honest, to keep things flowing and loving. He prioritizes the relationship. He doesn't put work first, even if he's passionate about work. He'll make decisions that support the relationship above all else and not see it as a sacrifice, because his pride and joy will be his partner and his family, and that'll be evident in how he behaves, how he chooses to allot his time and resources. He's a family man. And he does not get defensive. In other words, love and ego defensiveness, not defensive we're talking here about inappropriate, like he doesn't come with defenses, because the ego defense, is without the ego defenses, they're like defense mechanisms. That's what we're talking about here. There's room for an abundance of pure love and positive interactions. And the steady flow of pure love builds momentum, getting more delicious each day. Trust and safety and connection and magic grows, and he never chooses being right over being kind and loving, because my feelings are his primary concern. So if it's not loving, he doesn't want it. He's learned that there's truly nothing ego related that's worth sullying the blessing of love. He cherishes and holds someone dear, me. Protecting and caring for someone lovingly, me. Implying a certain tenderness that can disappear in long-term relationships. A healthy man will cherish me, gazing at me adoringly and feeling blessed to be doing life with me, and it'll show in the way he treats me. It cannot be faked. He has his own interests and passions. The relationship is not his whole life. He has his own purpose. He has his own life mission, which is very sexy for a man, and that which sets his soul on fire, making him jump out of bed in the morning with zeal. I'm not saying I need a man to jump out of bed, but she means like someone who has their own reason their why. They have a why. The relationship is the cherry on top, and added joy and comfort a priority, but it doesn't define him, and he doesn't lose himself in it. And finally, he respects my sovereignty. He doesn't try to control or manipulate, whether it's intentional or not, and supports me doing me. He doesn't try to make me jealous because of his inner solidity. So he's at ease and not suspicious and anxious, and he's absolutely able to easily trust. And he supports me pursuing what lights my soul on fire and who I want to spend time with and do what feels best for me. And we'll stop here, and I wish everybody all the best. May we all remember our why. May we all have motivation and health and all the money we need, and to have our companion and not any more loneliness or rejection, and not to feel someone or something is missing. And may we have no need to, and there's nothing to worry about. May we talk kindly to our organs and our body parts, telling them we love them, and focusing on others so that there's no anxiety, and remembering everything's perfect and makes sense. And if we need to, we could talk about ourselves in third person. All the best. Bye-bye.